Hey guys, welcome back to Linda's Resin Room. So I was digging through my mold box and I found this mold. I've never used it before. So I thought, why not give it a try? So I got my pearls out and I wanted to make sure that they would fit, and they do. So what I'm going to do is just fill this with pearls. That one. That one's got a little bit of green on it. I just want to fill this with pearls all the way around. And then I'm going to pour a little bit of clear resin in there. And once I get the clear resin, there's stuff on these. Once I get the clear resin in there, then what I'm going to do is let that cure up. Once it's cured, I'm going to mix up a little bit of resin to finish filling this mold up. And I'm going to mix it with this Ioe Ringo Blue from Eye Candy. It's a pigment paste. I think it's really pretty. I will let that cure up, and once that has cured up, I'll flip it, I'll demold it, and I will put temporary tattoo in there. It'll go this way, and then we'll cover it with some clear resin. So I thought that would be pretty. I've seen people put pearls around the edges, but I've never done it before. So I wanted to give it a try, and I had these pearls that fit perfectly. Oh, that one's got some. I've used these pearls before to make a bubble mold, and a few of them still have some of the green silicone. If you guys watched that video a while back, me making that mold, I am still finding pearls, just to let you know. Find them all the time. I don't think I'll ever find all of them. There was somebody that commented that, and I don't remember who it was, but yeah, you're right. I'll never find them all. Or I'll be finding them for a very long time. Okay. All right. I think we've got them all in there good. So I mixed up 2 ounces of resin, put it in the debubbler for 5 minutes. The resin that I'm using, I'm still using this one. Let me lay that down. The Tanzerex, or Tanzerex, however they say that. It is a 1-to-1 resin. It's a part A and part B, measured by volume. This time it didn't have that many bubbles. It had bubbles, but like I said, 5 minutes and they were gone. But I only mixed up 2 ounces also. So let's see if we can get this resin in there. I'm hoping I don't end up with bubbles because of where I'm trying to put it around the pearls. I want to coat them in a clear because if I use the blue, you're not going to be able to see it. It'll be a little difficult, isn't it? Trying to pour it on the stick and let the stick kind of guide it in there since it's at an angle. I think 2 ounces is going to be more than enough because if I filled that edge with all those little pearls. I just want to make sure I get enough resin down in there. I don't want to spill it everywhere, so I'm trying to take my time. Okay, I see a bubble coming there. Try to get that out of there here shortly. Just gonna try to slowly, can't really see, so it makes it a little difficult. If any gets on the center, I can always take that and let it dry and then just pull it off before I do the blue. So that's not a problem. As you can see, I've got a couple of little drops on the center up there. I see some holes where I've not got any resin. Oops, missing it again. This is a little more difficult than it looks. A little more difficult than I thought it would be. I'm going to roll these pearls around too once I get resin in there, just to make sure if there are any bubbles that they come up. I see a few bubbles coming out. I don't want bubbles in there, that's for sure. I don't have any resin over here. So I've definitely got to get some in there. Okay. See those bubbles coming out? I see a little bubble between those. There we go, I got him. I see a couple little bubbles over here. Let's put a little more resin in here. I did think about putting some of the crushed crystal in my resin for this, but then I thought that it might take away from the pearls, so I decided not to do that. Okay, just dropped another one. Good thing is once it cures up, those just pull right off. And then I have a container I put them in, those little pieces of resin that's dried and you can't do anything with them. And then I'm going to take and use them on that huge turtle mold from Pouring Your Heart Out. I'm going to use it as a filler for that mold on a video. And I think I've about got enough to do that. So that'll be something that's coming up sometime soon in the future. Can't say when, but okay. Let's see. How am I? I believe I can get some more clear resin in there. It's not up to the top yet. I'm wanting it to kind of level itself out. That's what I'm hoping for. and cover those pearls. I knew if I did the blue around the pearls, you wouldn't be able to see them. That's why I just want to do the clear. But I thought it's a cloud, so it needs blue. Okay. Let's look and see where we're at. I believe I need a little bit more there. I'm still not quite full. I think we're close, though. I think that actually might be good. Should have left them alone, but I didn't. Alright, let's wipe this resin off of me. Okay, that actually looks really good. There's a drip there. I want to get that off. There's going to be some, see these around the edge? Those will harden on there, and I will try to get them off. I can't say that I'll be able to, but I can try. Usually they end up looking like little bubbles in the resin as I pour it. Let's see. Maybe we can take a... Now, come on. I know I've got a good one somewhere here. Let's use this. I don't know if this will work. Try to go around and maybe get those bubbles. And prevent having those when we do the blue. Get them to just kind of go all the way down to there. Almost. Just pull that resin out. Here we go. I don't have them all, but I do have the majority, it looks like. So, hopefully, that will be okay. Now I've got little micro bubbles. And it won't be bubbles. It'll look like bubbles. It'll be resin. Okay. I think that's okay. Maybe. Almost. Seems like they just keep coming back. Alright, I'm leaving it alone. Alright guys, we're going to let that cure up. I only used an ounce of resin. I still have an ounce left. What could we do with an ounce? How about a mushroom? Don't know if it probably won't fill it all the way up, but it will fill it up some. Now I have these glitters. This is just some sample things that I got from Laura's Art Corner, I think, when I ordered. And I've already used the yellow glitter, but just some colors and some glitters. And let's do the blueberry macaroon. Let's put that in there. I think it was Laura's Art Corner these came from. If you guys have never used her, you should check her out. She sells the octopus inks, the resin inks, and the fluid inks that you can't find if you live in the United States anywhere else. So I've bought all of mine through there. And she ships out within like a day or two of you ordering. I have my order within a couple of days when I order from her. I think she's in Iowa, maybe. And I'm in Virginia. Okay. Let's see. Let's add a little glow-in-the-dark powder. A little purple from Let's Resin. Hopefully it doesn't take away from my glitter. Yeah, you can still see it. Okay. I'm going to add a little more. It really didn't do a whole lot. I just want to make sure he glows. There we go. These glow-in-the-dark powders mix up really well. They just dissolve when they hit the resin. Now I am going to put some glue in here because I don't want my glitter to stay sunk. If I don't put my school glue, well, I've got it open. And this is not the school glue. That's why you see me adding a little more than what you normally would. I thought it was the school glue when I picked it up, and I picked up the wrong one and got the glue all multi-purpose. But it works. You just have to use a little more than what you normally would. Okay. Alright. I'm going to put some more in there. You want it to kind of get gelled up a little bit. It'll feel like it's kind of curing on you, but really it's not. It's the glue reaction. Okay. Start pouring this. I can't remember how many ounces these little mushrooms hold. But I am going to have to squeeze some bubbles. So I'm not going to fill it all the way up quite yet until I get all these bubbles down here out. See the bubbles popping? I don't know if I have any more bubbles in there or not. Just trying to make sure. I don't know what that is. People go crazy over these mushrooms at craft fairs. I have 2 craft fairs coming up in October. So just used my extra resin to make up a few of these. Which I think what they like is the little cheap items. Okay, now since I've got a little left, we're going to have one that we're going to use as a dump. He will end up being all sorts of colors. Okay. Try to scrape all this out of there. Worst part about glitter is you can never get it all out. Makes you feel like you're wasting it because there's always so much left in there. But these were just samples anyways that she gave me for ordering. Get all those little glitter bits down in there. All right, that's it. And clean the stick off. I always dome these quite a bit, as you can tell. And I'm going to tell you, they still shrink, and I still have to trim them every time. Okay. All right, guys, we'll let this cure up. I'll clean this mold up, and then I'll come back. We'll mix up some resin with our blue paste and do part 2. So I'll see you guys then. So I've got my mold here, and all I did was take a piece of tape and go over it to get all of those pieces of resin off that had cured on there that I had spilt, and I took it around the edges. Now I'm hoping, I can't guarantee, but I'm hoping that I didn't loosen it around the edge, because of if I did, my glue is going to go right around my pearls, and I don't want that. I want it to stay on top. So all I've done is mix up 4 ounces of resin. I haven't mixed this very well with the color, using the Eye Candy AOE Ringo Blue paste. I mixed it up, took just a little bit, put it in my cup, and I also added a little bit of this mica powder, Sparkling White by Chang Tai Chi, if I'm saying that right. Get this off of Amazon for like $11.99 US dollars, which is awesome. It's a 200-gram container, and this is the same thing as this Unicorn Art Crushed Crystal, same effect. So I just put a little bit of that in there. The Unicorn Crushed Crystal has been out of stock on Amazon. I haven't even seen it listed for a while now, so I don't know what's going on there. But this will work if you guys are looking for something like that. Just a suggestion. And that will last forever. That is over 7 ounces of sparkling white glitter-like powder, I guess you could say. Alright, I'm just making sure I get this mixed up very well. Now, I don't know if you guys can see that little sparkle in there. I can see it, but I'm not sure that you guys can. But I think that's going to be really pretty on this mold. Alright guys, I am going to put this in the debubbler and I will be right back. Alright guys, so I got my resin out of the debubbler and let's just pour this in here. I'm hoping to get under those edges there and not have any bubbles, and I hope 4 ounces was enough. Okay. Not going to be able to dome it, but it does feel it. I don't see any bubbles along the edge, so that is good. Scrape this cup out. Go get everything we can out of here. Okay. See if we can get all of this. Okay, I'm going to turn my cup upside down over here to drain. But now some of this color looks like it's not mixed up very well. So I'm just going to go around it and see if I can mix a little bit. I don't want to get near the edges. So I don't want to get bubbles up under the edge. Try to just get where I can. Okay. Get my cup back so I can scrape what I put on my stick. That scraped back off. Come on, drop off. There we go. Now let me clean this stick off. Okay. A little torch. I actually don't see a little bubble there, maybe. Alright, guys. That's it for that. Once this cures up, we'll come back, demold. I am going to take my scissors, though, if I can get this off my table. And see these little numbers here? You definitely want to cut that off, because if you do not, they will transfer over onto your piece. So I just go around the whole thing and just trim the whole thing up. Now, that'll be the only thing that'll transfer. Another thing, the reason I'm waiting till after this cures up before I put this on there is because of sometimes I have put the tattoo on the mold and it works fine, works great. It's a little sticky when you remove it, but I'm going to cover it in a clear coat anyways. The problem I have is that it will darken the tattoo and sometimes you can't see it. It will hide the tattoo completely. I had a little bubble there I had to get out. Okay, I don't see any more. See a bubble that's came up there. Okay. Alright, guys. We will let this cure up, and come back, demold it, add our tattoo, and do a clear coat. See a bubble. Alrighty. Alright, I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright guys, so this is cured up enough that I can demold this. If I can get a hold of it. It should come off fairly easy here. Then we'll put our temporary tattoo on, put a little clear layer down in there of resin to seal the tattoo, so that way you don't have to worry about the stickiness from the tattoo. And see how this edge did on this tray. Okay. Oh, that is pretty, isn't it? All right. I've got a little resin mixed up. This is about 1 ounce. I put a little bit of the Unicorn Art crushed crystal down in there. Let's get this, if I can get the clear paper off the tattoo. There we go. Get the clear paper off me. All right, I think I want to do this at an angle. So I'm just going to put that down there. I'm not going to put anything else. Got my paintbrush, my water. I find it easier to do the temporary tattoos this way. My sister told me about it. She does nails. And she gave me Happy Meal, these brushes, and told me how to use it and told me to give it a try, and I absolutely love it. It's made the cleanup so much better because then I don't have anything to clean up. Before I had to use a paper towel, dabbed water everywhere, got it everywhere. This is so much more control. And that is it. And I'm just going to clean this off, or dry it off, and put it up for the next time. These paintbrushes are awesome. She got me a whole set. And then once you've got that done, this should just slide right off. I can grab a hold of it here. There's our temporary tattoo. And then we just take our resin. Is there a little water down in there still? I don't want water. Just dab that dry. Just in case. Okay. And I'm just going to pour the resin in here. And we're going to spread it out. Get all of this out. Okay. A few little bubbles. I'm not worried about the bubbles because I'm going to take my heat gun, my little lighter here, and I'm going to go around this after I get all this spread out. That's why I didn't put the resin in the debubbler. I never do when I coat these, because like I said, the resin degasses very well. Plus I can take my heat gun. I don't have a mold to melt. Okay, almost. And then this resin will level itself out. Okay, let me clean this stick off here. Okay. Now let's take our torch and just go around the resin to pop any bubbles that may be in there. And that's it, guys. That is done. Let's demold our mushroom and see how he turned out. These things are so hard to get started. Okay. Now, getting this off the top here. Come on, you can pop on out there. All of our glitter sank. I kind of figured it would, but that's okay. He's cute. All right, guys. Not all of it sank. There's still some down in there, but the big pieces did. All right, that's it, guys. There's no need to do a video for a reveal because this is the reveal. All right, I will see you guys back for my next video. You'll have a good day. Bye.